Nets fan, $10 says, Myron is right about the law school. I'm an attorney. Reputation matters a lot with the bar. While things are changing, the attitude from most states is pretty outdated. I would risk not doing only. I
would risk doing OnlyFans. So that's what he's saying. Is back to what I was saying because, yeah, man, a lot of even the most liberal bars, like you look at the California bar or whatever, they're just potentially like letting you come in if you've smoked weed in the past like 5 years. So they're just getting that approved now. You know, so you guys got to remember when you're a lawyer or you're like as they would say, an officer of the court. That's what a lawyer is deemed as. You're held to a higher standard than normal people. So they'll like use that against you to like discriminate. Like if I wanted to work in law enforcement and they found out that I was having sex with chicks on OnlyFans, they would not hire me, bro. They wouldn't.
Damn.
Same thing if you want to be an attorney. Like they're gonna be like, oh, this looks bad because here's the other thing too. I don't know if you guys know this, but when trial happens, a lot of the times, every party involved in the case, especially if it's a criminal case, has to disclose things about their past, even if they're less than favorable. So if let's say I'm an agent, right, and I'm on a case as the prosecuting side. If I've been under internal investigation, if I've gotten in trouble if I've gotten arrested or anything like that, I have to disclose all of that before the trial happens.
Right.
So you don't want that coming out that you're the prosecutor on a case or whatever, and then like, all right, well, we need to know the background and everyone involved in the case to make sure that they're of the highest, utmost moral character. They're gonna be like, oh, you were sucking dick on OnlyFans? All right, disqualified. Or even if you had OnlyFans, even if you were, I don't know, eating food on there and just eating food and just chilling, they're still going to look at that as unfavorable and you might get disqualified, you know? So yeah, that's just something people got to understand is that when you work in the public service sector or in law in general, you're considered an officer of the court and you're going to be held to a higher standard. Right. So something to think about. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the next 10 years, I think that's going to change pretty drastically.
That's kind of a hope.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think is going to happen.
I mean, if I was going to invest, tens of thousands of dollars into law school and try to, pursue a career, I wouldn't hope on anything. I would just set myself up in a situation where I can't fail versus like hoping the system's going to change.
Well, somebody can go to law school and never become a lawyer.
Wouldn't that be a waste of money?
Regardless of OnlyFans or not. So that's what I'm saying.
Wouldn't that be a waste of money to go to law school and not be a lawyer?
Yeah, but people do it all the time. So I'm saying regardless of like the reasoning behind it, like if I want to go to law school, I'm going to do that. And I think in the next 10 years that things are going to change and that it'll be fine.
Why did you go to law school if you can't become a lawyer?
Because I think that I could, is what I'm saying.
Girl, just manifest it, girl. Fuck degrees, manifest that shit.
There's a woman on TikTok right now she's a porn star and she runs her own law firm.
Well, who's her clients?
I don't fucking know who her clients are, bitch. But she has her own law firm.
I'm not gonna hold you. If I was going to go to trial, am I gonna choose a former OnlyFans girl to be my lawyer, or someone that's an attorney for a couple of years that's certified?
Girls and men, it's called
That's real here. Who are you gonna choose?
I would choose the OnlyFans girl. I would.
Afro circus.
No, but why is that stupid?
I'm gonna choose who's more qualified.
Okay, so what if the OnlyFans girl is more qualified?
At what? Sucking dick? The fuck?
No, do you think that somebody who does OnlyFans can't be qualified to be a lawyer?
But I will say this. Someone that spent their whole life studying law, that's been an upstanding citizen, that hasn't done anything of that nature, I'll choose him over the OnlyFans.
So do you think that somebody that does OnlyFans wouldn't be as intelligent as somebody who necessarily hasn't been involved in something like that?
We're not saying they're not. We're just saying like probabilities wise, for example, a pilot on a plane, right? Who do you choose? A OnlyFans
pilot
or a pilot that studied his whole life to become a pilot? Who would you choose?
Would I choose somebody who's like 30 versus like 60 and more experience? Maybe I choose somebody with more experience with something like that.
Right.
But I don't think that like how intelligent you are has to do with like if you've done OnlyFans or porn or anything like that. No.
Okay, so here's a cold hard
not.
reality. You might not like what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. And this isn't just you. This is what I've noticed from interviewing women in general. Women tend to operate on 20/20 hindsight. And what I mean by that is they think the world should understand me for me, how I really am. Don't worry about these pictures of me on the internet that show my ass and butthole. I'm beyond that. I'm a good person. I'm a vegan and I help animals and I volunteer in my free time, which you may do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, people are going to judge a book by its cover. If I walked up to you in a nightclub and I said, hey, my name is Myron, I'd like to take you on a date, would you take me seriously? Let's be honest.
No.
Nope.
Fantastic. But what you don't know is that I'm a really good person. I'm a multimillionaire. I have a Lamborghini parked outside, and I'm a good guy. But you're not going to give me that chance because on the surface
Chris,
level,
fuck you, Chris.
I don't look like a qualified candidate to date you, which is fine.
But I'm not talking about like dating. I'm talking about like
But
intellectually
this
when
is
it
what I'm
comes to
trying
like
to say.
intelligence.
Hear me out. Hear me out. You reserve the right to judge a book by its cover when it comes to your dating. Law
Yeah.
firms and society reserves the right to judge a book by its cover when it comes to hiring you. I would argue they're going to be even more stringent on your background than a man that's dating you. So therefore, you cannot expect people to should, could, or would. It's going to be what is. They're going to see this, immediately disqualified. They're not going to bother to get to know you.
No, I understand that. And I'm not saying that that's untrue. I'm saying that that isn't how things should be.
Okay, well, what did I just say? Should, could, and would are fantastic words, but it's
I know,
not what is.
but that's not what I was saying.
But reality is what is.
Okay, but I'm saying that like I think that reality is shifting, and by the time that I like want to do something like this, I think that a lot more people would be more open-minded.
Well, you're hoping for things to change instead of
Everyone
accepting
hopes for things to change.
well, that's a terrible way to live the world because if I hope for world peace and I hope for it to end world hunger, that's not going to happen. Sometimes you just got to operate on reality. You got to operate on probabilities and not possibilities. Is it possible that society's going to accept girls that used to do porn and OnlyFans or any type of other sex industry work and put them into the professional world? It's possible. Is it probable? No. So what I would say is you need to prepare yourself for the reality. We can sit here and say, oh, well, it shouldn't be this way. Unfortunately, the world doesn't owe you understanding. It doesn't. It doesn't owe any of us understanding.
And I'm not saying that it does, but it's like that's why you have investments and stuff like that. But it's like if I'm passionate about something and if I want to go to law school and if it's something that I think I can accomplish, then I'm going to do that.
I mean,
And I don't think that like having OnlyFans or doing porn has anything to do with somebody's intelligence.
It doesn't. But reality is that the world is going to say
But-
it does.
But I'm not talking about reality.
he's just saying you have your
do we
goals.
not live in reality?
Hold on. You have your goals and passions, right? Go for it. But just think about the future. It could be a possibility or not. He's saying be aware of
Yeah,
that.
anything could be a possibility. There could be somebody that does no porn, no OnlyFans, and they go to law school and they're still not going to become a lawyer.
That's true.
Somebody can go to school for 3.9 years and they're never going to get a degree. That's always an option.
It's competitive. You're right.
Yeah.
So
regardless, though, is what
yeah,
I'm saying.
But why, if you know it's that competitive and it's difficult, why would you handicap yourself and add an anchor to your ankle that would limit your
Exactly.
ability to get the same job that other people are competing for that don't necessarily have a past? That's what I'm trying to say. The world is not going to sit there and give you understanding, especially for a highly competitive job that other people go after that may not necessarily have the liability of that background. Because if I'm a law firm owner and I'm trying to employ lawyers and I know that I need the best trial attorneys that aren't going to embarrass me and my firm, I'm going to hire people that are what? Not a liability for me and my name. So I'm not going to hire someone that used to have a past that might embarrass us. I'm going to hire someone, even if they might not be as qualified as you. You might be bright, smart, intelligent, killed the bar exam, etc. But I'm going to go with someone that is less qualified than you simply based off of your past because I don't want to have to deal with the liability of embarrassment in the future should these things have to come out before a trial, which they definitely will before a trial. So I'm telling you, I know because I come from that world, your character means a lot and your past will come back to haunt you if you have things like that. And I think not enough young women understand that what you do now is going to echo in eternity thanks to the internet. So you got to be intelligent about what you're doing, especially if you want to get into jobs that require, public trust, government, law enforcement, anything that has to do with the background. This is what employers are looking at. Your past will come back to haunt you, and hoping that it's going to change is not realistic. You got to prepare for the future now and not hope that it's going to change. The world does not revolve around what should, could, or would, or what you think is right. The world revolves on what is, what's best for the law firm, what's best for the client, what's best for the future of that law firm and making what? Money. That's what it is, man. Like, I don't know why women think the world should change because of them and they're intelligent and people should sit there and get to know them. Y'all don't give us that benefit of the doubt. When we come up to you and say, hey, you bad, girl. The fuck? You're wearing jean shorts that are past your goddamn calves. I'm not there talking to you. But you might not know that guy's a millionaire. But we let women reserve the right to reject people. But if we say, okay, we're going to reject you too. Why? My past shouldn't matter. That's like me going into a bank. I need a loan, motherfuckers. All right, what's your credit score? Don't worry about that. It's a 420. Well, sir, we're not going to give you this loan. What the fuck? You shouldn't give it to me. I'm a good person. I read a book right before I came here. God damn it. They're going to look at me, be like, stupid. Get the fuck out my bank. Because that's reality. I made bad decisions in the past. Now I'm dealing with the consequences of my decisions. Simple, man. I don't know why y'all think the world's going to change for you guys. It's clown world shit.
I don't think that the world's going to change for us, but I think that things are shifting and that they're shifting in a general direction of more acceptance for different career paths like that. I do genuinely
in
like
the next
I
10
do
years,
believe that.
I'm willing to bet in the next 10 years, many states will not allow you to enter the bar if you have a past that has to do with any kind of sex work. There's just no way I see it happening.
And that's your opinion. What I've seen and from like the people that I've talked to, like people, and like there is this one woman on TikTok who she does own her own law firm and she's pretty successful and she used to be a porn star and she has tattoos and shit like that. Like there are people where
let's say she actually does own her own law firm and she's a successful lawyer. You cannot use the exception to the rule.
Exactly.
Like you can't use someone that is an anomaly to base your decisions off of. Okay, well I know someone that jumped out of a plane. Their parachute only had a 10% chance of deploying, but deployed, baby, and he landed safely.
He lived.
No, he lived. Let's go off that guy. No, you would. If I told you jump out that plane, you only got a 10% chance of the parachute deploying. You would say, "Fuck no,
fuck no."
I'm not gonna take that kind of crazy risk. So I'm just saying, you got to operate on probabilities, not possibilities, man.
But I don't think that it's a crazy risk to want to go to school for something.
Going thousands of dollars into debt to get a degree that you probably won't be able to actually use. I mean, if you want to take that risk, that's crazy. But I would say most people shouldn't do that.
We just have different opinions on like how things are going to go in like the next decade or so. What I'm saying is like from what I've seen, I do think that people are becoming more open to people who have tattoos, who have been in sex work, who have been doing more alternative things with their lives. I think that a lot of people are becoming more open-minded about that, and they think your character doesn't depend on those things, which I do believe that like somebody's character, like you can have very good character, you can be an amazing person and do porn or OnlyFans or Fansly or whatever. You can have 1,000 tattoos and you can be a great person.
But
and I think there's a lot of people who also are starting to believe that and shift their mindset towards that.
But you got to remember, I never said that people that do that work aren't good people. I simply said,
I know.
But I simply said the employer is not going to waste their time getting to know you when they have someone else that's also a good person, qualified, and doesn't come with that liability. You're missing the point here. From an employer standpoint, it's not in my best interest to sit here and get to know you when I already know that you have a liability that might fuck up my firm's ability to generate money. I'm just going to go with someone that doesn't have that liability.
Yes.
Regardless of how good of a person you are, so you are going to be left because of your past.
Yes, and I'm agreeing with that, but I'm saying that I think that people are shifting their mindset. I understand what you're saying, and I agree that that is how a lot of people think, but I also believe that a lot of people are shifting the way that they think. That's what I'm saying. And you can disagree with that, but that's like we can agree to disagree on that topic.
The court system is extremely conservative.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
like
okay, and I'm agreeing on that, but I'm saying that I think that it is changing.
It's never gonna end.
Okay, then that's your opinion on it.
It's an extremely low likelihood that it will change. I mean, the court system is extremely conservative. They are not going to employ women that were involved in sex work to try cases, bro. It's just not going to happen. I'm telling you. Like, unless it's like, because that's going to fuck up it's going to fuck up their ability to try cases appropriately. They're going to sit there and try to deflect. Hey, did you know that your main prosecuting attorney was selling feet pictures on OnlyFans and involved in sex work? No,
I can hold you. That's fucked up.
And
right before the case.
Yeah,
and it's a man ran like industry too. Like law is mainly ran by men, so like they'd be quick to throw that shit in your face and like make out belittle. Like that's just how the law works. Like,
and yo, let's take it a step further. You want to know who's the most hypercritical of women that are involved in sex work? Other women. When I bring these entrepreneurs on that own their own businesses and like, you know, scaled up a business that they didn't have to show any picture of themselves, the first thing they always say, I make $100K a month and I have to sell no fucking ass to do it. Yeah, I'm telling you, you take a lawyer that actually went to law school, never did any of this stuff, never stripped, never danced, never did any sex work to make her money, bro. And you work for a woman like that, she's definitely gonna tell you, fuck no. They're like, yo, the women that are successful that make their money and never did any of that stuff are gonna be the biggest ones to hate on chicks that made money from sex work, bro. I'm telling you.
Facts.
I'm telling you, they're gonna be like, you took it the easy way, bitch. I got it out the mud. I ain't hiring you. Like, nah.
Nicki Minaj, Meg Thee Stallion.
What
does Nicki Minaj say all the time? I never fucked nobody in the industry.
Meg Thee Stallion. Can't say shit.
Meek Mill.
Damn.
No.
Meek Mills, no.
No, but she had her fame before that.
Yeah, before. Okay.
Safari. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying like she had already her career was already developed before that. You know what I'm saying? That's what she's saying. She brags on that all the time.
So we got video to play.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything? I want to make sure that those ladies can go ahead before we go.
So, like, with your statement, what do you think about like Kim Kardashian? And she's involved in a lot of legal things, and I mean, some people hate on it, but at the end of the day, she's making changes and stuff, and she got like a big, we already
She's
know
met
her
with the
past and all that.
president.
Like, yeah, like
She's
involved
actually
a
made
lot.
changes and she's
Yeah.
reversed court cases because of that, because she's in law school right now and
But
she
she's not
like
a lawyer.
educates herself. But she educates herself and she is going to law school and she's reversed a few different cases that were going to go south.
Like, do you think it's
Going
an
going to law
exception?
school and passing the bar and actually becoming a lawyer are two different things. It's two completely different things. She's not a lawyer yet, and I mean, let's be honest. That's probably that's a publicity stunt to look better for all the fuck ups in the past. But I mean, we can speculate on that. But she's not a good role model, I would say, for women to follow.
Okay, she might not be a good role model, but like what I'm saying is that like there are women who have a past who still continue to do things with their lives in professional fields like that. Like she did have meetings with Donald Trump and she did speak to him on like certain cases that were reversed.
Okay, we're talking about a woman that had sex with a guy. The video blew up. She got famous off said video, and then she was able to turn that into a business to some degree. But in the meantime, what did she do while doing that? Well, she hurt her reputation. People don't take her seriously. Everyone's always going to label her as like, you got famous off a sex video and sucking dick. So she's never going to come, even though people like a lot of women admire her because like they wish that they can get famous off of what she did. The reality is most women, if they did exactly what she did, they're going to cripple themselves from a professional standpoint. What you also don't understand is that Kim Kardashian already had money. What you also don't understand is that her father was on a legal defense team for O.J. Simpson.
Facts.
What you also don't understand is she already had connections in Hollywood that put her in a position where, regardless of her poor decisions, she would be set for life.
You don't have
So
that
it would be
for the most
disingenuous
part.
for me to tell regular women, hey, go ahead and take the Kim K route because you don't have the same resources and connections that she did in Hollywood. But a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
That her father was actually a very good lawyer that was on the OJ defense team and he was famous and he was good friends with him. In the first place, she came from money. So she was able and had accesses that a regular girl won't. This is why I tell people all the time, Kim Kardashian is a horrible example for women to emulate because you don't have her resources. If you took her same trajectory, more than likely it's going to cripple you from a professional standpoint. You are not going to be able to suck dick on some camera and then go ahead and become a philanthropist and run a fashion line and all this extra shit because you don't have the resources she did.
But
True.
regardless, you're talking about women who have like done things like similar to what she has done, and she was like still
Your
able
past is
to be
always gonna
taken
justify you,
seriously.
bro.
What was that, Icy?
I say your past is always gonna haunt you. It is what it is. Like you're trying to go beyond the fact of OnlyFans. Niggas gonna judge you off of that. Especially like if you're dealing with clients with big money, they finna take that serious because you a risk. Like understand that they gonna judge you just because you did it. So just own your shit and just continue running and try to choose to something else. I mean, you could do it, but you're gonna handicap yourself. It's all they trying to tell you. Take the game. That's it.
And you literally
Listen,
gonna have to, you're gonna
no,
have to
I'm
deal with them
acknowledge-
consequences for the rest of your life. Like you gonna always be looked at as that sex object. Like
just
no
saying-
matter what you do, like no matter you can grow up and do the best shit in the world, but it's still gonna be motherfucking jacking off to you from 10 years ago. Like, I'm keeping the
But I'm
buck.
not
Yeah.
disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that like I do think that women who want to go into professional fields after doing something like that can do that. And I think that especially in the future, there'll be more opportunities for them, regardless of what people think of them.
They can, but
I-
the past is always gonna come. Like
Everyone's
like we're
past
going in
haunts them.
circles. You've been saying the same thing like 3 times
Yeah, I
already.
agree.
I'm ready to
Yeah.
go on to the
Can
next
we
topic.
move
That's why
on?
I'm saying that.
It's wishful thinking, but
You know,
and it
it's
sounds more
hopeful.
emotional than anything. Like
You
it's
know?
just feelings and shit. But I ain't gotta go in there. I'm
Next
just-
topic.
Okay.
Cool.
Hey man, it is what it is. Where we at?
Hella
Okay.
shots here and there.
Okay.
Video.
Yeah, we're going 20 and up.
Yeah, 20 up.
Okay.
Cool.
And these came after.